Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you right off the bat a real easy question. Reflecting on the evolution of Chelsea, of the WSL, seems insane for someone, and you've been in it for as long as you have. When you look back at the time, what is the most impressive thing?
Oh, I think the things that stand out is the variety of players. I think we're a very attractive league, and we have players from all over the world that want to come and play in the WSL, which is amazing for players to have that exposure. Not only does it help from a club level, but international, when you're playing against different nationalities, and you get to first-hand experience those type of players, so that it's not a shock when you. But equally, I think some of the other nations, when their players come over and play in the WSL, maybe a little bit more technical. I really think the style of English football has changed, and it's evolved to become more technical, more about possession, rather than the typical English way was, we'll fight, we're like bulldogs, we'll never give in. And I think now we've added that technical side, but I don't believe without those players coming from abroad we would have got to that place. So I think that's a big thing for me, and I think the crowds for sure playing in the main stadiums now, because of the exposure and because of players coming from all over the world, we're more attractive, and the football which we play is just second to none now.
Obviously you had the confidence that you could get there, but did you think it would happen? Did you have the? Does it still surprise you at times at how quickly it did come together?
No, because I know how much hard work goes in to the women's game in England, and I think everyone's the same all over the world, but I can speak from my experience in the WSL and in England, and the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes, what probably goes a little bit unnoticed, not only from the staff, but I think the players as well, and the responsibility we put on ourselves to make sure that we're playing to the highest ability that we can. We're pushing and making sure we're getting as many fans through the doors, and ticket sales. I think that's something that we've really pushed for, and also just how we carry ourselves and what we want to represent in England and what we want the WSL to represent that's our responsibility. Not only the staff that do all the hard work behind the scenes, but we're the ones out on the pitch, and we want to give good performances, but we want to take care of our fans. We want to keep growing our fan base, and ultimately we have to perform to make sure people want to come back and watch. So I think we've put a lot of responsibility on ourselves, and I think knowing the mentality of all the players that play in the WSL and everyone involved in the game, I always believed that we would get to where we are, and it's scary how big it is now because we're still pushing for more, and I definitely know the game is going to be in a completely different place for the better in 5 years to come.
Speaking to Liam Williamson from Arsenal, I was struck by how much there's no complacency, right? There's an appreciation for how far it's come.
Yeah.
But when you're playing for a club as big as Cleveland, as big as Chelsea, as big as Arsenal, obviously with the national team as well, there really isn't though an overconfidence. There isn't a hey, we made it. There isn't a desire to keep building, and that's impressive. And I sense that with you as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's because of everything we've experienced in the women's game, and when the game was banned for all those years, and we kind of felt like we were always a little bit behind, and we're still playing catch up really. For all those years for it to have been banned, you lose out on a lot. And as you've seen, things move very quickly. The world is constantly evolving. Same with the player. If you don't perform, there's someone right next to you ready to take your position. So we've always got to be on our toes. And I think, just that mentality to be like, no, we're not happy with where it is, and we deserve more, and we will get more. And also we want more. We want to be the best that we can be. Especially as an English player, I want the WSL to be the most attractive league in the world, and I think it is. I think that's shown by how many players want to come over and play in it, and also just how competitive it is. It's no longer just the top 3 teams, and I think we saw that last season, especially again. Some results took people by surprise, but as players we're like, no, we expected some of those results because the teams are constantly evolving, signing new players that sometimes you've not heard of, and then next thing they're the star of the show, and now you need to be aware and do your analysis. So it's constantly growing, but again, like you said, it's our appetite to always want more and to always keep pushing the standards and never settle.
All that said, you've been at such a high level for such a long time as a club. The fact that we can, a term we use, I don't know if they use it over there, we use it in the United States, a dynasty, to consistently be that good. When the league has grown in that quality, that, again, a lack of complacency, right, to keep pushing for it. What has that meant, especially since you've been, you guys use this term, it always makes me laugh, a servant of the club. I always laugh at that, right?
I serve you.
But you've been there for quite some time.
10 years now.
You've been there for all of this incredible run at a gigantic club. What's that mean?
Incredible. I said the day I signed for Chelsea, I want to be here for 10 years. I want to, commit to this club. I wanted to be a part of the journey. I was absolutely blown away the first day that I was there. I was in this professional environment that was so hungry to win, hungry to be the best players, to be the strongest, the fittest, the fastest, the best on the ball. We had a variety of players, and I just felt really lucky to be in that environment. And I always say I've stayed at Chelsea for so long because, one, we've won every single year bar one season, that 2019 I believe, and I've constantly grown as a player but also as a person, and just the value of the culture we've created, which is taking care of one another, wanting the best for each other. Without that, it's very hard to succeed in a team and in sport. That requires your teammates, the staff behind the staff, and we always call it the team behind the team. It's amazing to also see how powerful our voices can be, and how we've demanded the club to, in the early days especially, that the women's section needed to be better, and then we start being successful, and then we keep moving up the ladder. And I think getting that buy-in and from the broader spectrum of the club it's needed, but ultimately I think the power of us as players to be like, no, we deserve this, or we will be the most successful team, and then to go and do that, the whole thing has literally been a movie for me. It's probably when you sit down and you think about it, you realise how much you've actually achieved, not just on the pitch but off the pitch. And my first year we were having a little brown bag, that was our lunch, and you'd get your apple, your sandwich, and I think we had like a packet of crisps and a chocolate bar. Even to that, now we have our own canteen, we have our own chefs, we have all our own facilities. Just the growth on and off the pitch is incredible, and I'm extremely proud from where we've started and where we are, but that's not where we finish.
Right.
So there's more to come.
So this summer I worked the Olympics, not in Paris unfortunately, but was in Connecticut, right up the road. I found myself relatively amazed at the way that the USWNT came together. And then I went and read some comments that you had made about Emma Hayes, and so I had to ask. She had an incredible impact on you. You had an incredible impact on her. What was it like to watch that, and what can we expect moving forward? Those of us who love the women's national team here in the US.
Yeah, I was really proud of her because to manage a club is one thing, to go internationally is completely different. And I think playing your national team and playing for your club are two different scenarios. You've got 10 days with your national team. We spend every single day together at club. I think if there was someone that was going to go and do it, of course it would have been Emma Hayes. And what I've seen from the US team is everything that I would have expected. Obviously I had a great relationship with Emma, and I knew her very well. Probably know all the tricks of the trade inside out, so probably a bonus if we meet each other in the future on opposite sides. But I think everything, to this date, what she's achieved at Chelsea, we remember as players, and everything that she did, it was a lesson. It was always a lesson. She's always preparing you for the next step or the next challenge or the next adventure, wherever it be. It might not have been at Chelsea, it could be in a different job or a different team. For me, those are things that kind of last a lifetime, and I've learned a lot about myself as a leader, as a player, as a person, and those sorts of things don't just disappear because she's left. And I think although that was the end of an era, our new legacy awaits, and that's really exciting to be a part of that. And we've got a fantastic coach that's come in and has won everything, and we lost one legend, but we've gained a new legend, and I think it also shows the vision of the club and that we are ready to go to the next level, and there's trophies out there that we haven't won, and that's the mission.
Well, that's what I was going to ask about this season. Is that I mean, it has to be the goal, right? It's strange
100%.
when you're at a club where what's going to make you satisfied is just winning everything, right? But how are you going about that?
Yeah, and it's always been the aim. Winning has always been the aim at the club. It's we've always said it's in our DNA. That's, you know, every single day, every session, every practice that we do, it's all about winning and being the best teammates first and foremost. Because, like I said, without each other, it'll fall apart. But I think when Sonia came in, she made it extremely clear, and straight away we aligned, and it was about every trophy that we compete for, we want to win. And there's no shying away from that, there's no hiding. Of course, there's a process and a journey to winning. But I think making that the known is really important. It sets an expectation. And yeah, we're on a new journey. It's really exciting. The players are thriving in the environment and on the new training sessions. And yeah, we're really excited to get started. But so far, so good. There'll be some challenges along the way, of course, that's natural, but I think just knowing the expectation from what's required from every individual is it's crystal clear, and yeah, we're really excited to get going now.
What would you tell American fans about the development of Katarina and Mia as teammates, as players, and what we can expect in the future?
Yeah. Oh, you better be excited, because two incredible players, obviously had a tough time with injuries, but I think it helps when you're in our environment where, you know, we take care of each other. I know how hard it is having those sorts of injuries, and you know, you can see it in your teammates when they're struggling, they need a little pick me up, and yeah, we're trying our best to take care of them from that side of things, and they're putting in the work and they're grinding away at the rehabs. But I'm super excited for these two players to be back, and I think we're extremely lucky to have them to be a part of our changing room.
Wembley Stadium, couple months, US England. It's something that I think if you're an American fan, you've circled and be like, oh, I wonder how I would get a ticket, but you're not going to. What's that going to be like? And what is... It's strange for me to say, like, what is the rivalry? These are top 5 teams. Unfortunately, the way that Olympic qualification goes, we didn't get a chance to see it this summer.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people have circled that.
Yeah.
Is it a rivalry that is felt within England?
I think it's always a rivalry, and I think in the past there's been rivalry for different reasons, but I think to this date now it's just pure competition. It's wanting to play against the best teams, the best players. It's wanting to beat those players and, you know, have the bragging rights ultimately. But I think playing in an iconic stadium, it's a stadium everyone wants to play in at Wembley, and it's two opponents that are extremely competitive, and yeah, I think have some of the best players. So it's always exciting. It's a fiery game. Two teams that never give in, and have really developed over the years as well. I think even when we play against each other, the game looks a lot different to what it is 4 or 5 years ago. So even, you know, people might say, oh, we've played against each other quite a lot, but there's new players, there's new style, there's, you know, it's a fresh game, and I think the way they're now playing under Emma is it's going to be a different US team to what we're used to as well. So again, it's completely different for the fans, and yeah, I mean, they should be excited by it.
Last thing, Chelsea, obviously a massively followed club. Have to say, my son loves Chelsea. So I asked this to the Arsenal players as well. What's at the heart of Chelsea? How would you describe Chelsea as a club? What are the words that you would say to say this is what I'm a part of? This is what it means to be a member of Chelsea, whether it's a player, a staff member, a men's player, a women's player, whatever. What is Chelsea?
I'd say legacy is the first thing that comes to mind. I think it's for me as a player, and for everyone else, it's important, the legacy that not only have we had in the past, but we want to lead moving forward. And it's always wanting to be, it's not just about the football, it's about the community. It's about leaving a good imprint on the fans, making sure that we're connected with our fans, and you know, they're not just at 1 or 2 games, they want to come back, and you know, even if you don't have the best game, you've given your heart and soul. It's the passion and the pride, and ultimately for me it's always been about representing the badge in the right way. So yeah, legacy and representing the badge. Well, some nice goals and, you know, all the bits in between, the glitz and the glam.
I play beautiful soccer.
Yeah, but...
Football, sorry. All right, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.